Hey Bougie, click. Ever wondered how some moms, despite their best intentions, might be raising the very men they end up resenting? By babying their boys, these moms could be producing the next generation of passport brothers and low-value men. Constantly shielding their sons from life's challenges stunts their emotional growth and independence. These boys grow into men who can't handle life's curveballs, manage their emotions, or build healthy relationships. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. These same moms often pile adult responsibilities on their daughters long before they're ready. Young girls are expected to care for siblings, run the household, and even become emotional crutches for their parents. This forces them to grow up too fast, stealing their childhood and impacting their emotional health. We're about to lay bare the raw truth of these mother-child dynamics and what it means for the sons and daughters involved. Overprotective mom stereotype: how boy moms raise men they hate. What is a boy mom? A boy mom is a term that has gained popularity on social media, particularly on platforms like TikTok. It originally referred to mothers who have sons and celebrate the unique experiences and challenges of raising boys. However, the term has evolved and sometimes carries a more negative connotation. Characteristics of a boy mom: coddles her son. She may be overly protective and indulgent, shielding him from challenges and responsibilities. Puts her son on a pedestal. She might express more affection and pride towards her son compared to daughters or other children. Acts possessively. She may treat her son as if he is her entire world, sometimes to the point of acting like his romantic partner. Reinforces gender norms. She might believe in and perpetuate traditional gender roles, often excusing her son's behavior with phrases like "boys will be boys." Potential negative effects. This behavior can limit a boy's development, making it difficult for him to become independent and emotionally mature. It can also create a toxic family dynamic, where the son feels entitled and the mother overly involved in his personal life. The making of narcissistic men: the role of overbearing mothers. In contemporary society, the rise of narcissistic men has become a topic of significant concern. These men often exhibit traits such as an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. While various factors contribute to the development of narcissistic personality traits, one critical aspect that is often overlooked is the role of overbearing mothers who baby their sons and harbor negative feelings towards their daughters. This kind of parenting dynamic can shape the untraditional narcissistic men we see today. Overnurturing and dependency. Overbearing mothers who excessively baby their sons often create an environment where the child becomes overly dependent on maternal support. This overnurturing can stifle the child's ability to develop independence and self-sufficiency. As these boys grow into men, they may struggle with taking responsibility for their actions and decisions, relying instead on others to fulfill their needs. This dependency can manifest as narcissistic behavior, where the individual expects constant attention and validation from those around them. Lack of boundaries and entitlement. When mothers fail to set appropriate boundaries, their sons may grow up with a skewed sense of entitlement. These boys are often not held accountable for their actions, leading them to believe that they are above the rules that apply to others. This sense of entitlement is a hallmark of narcissism, where the individual feels deserving of special treatment and privileges. Over time, this can result in men who are unable to empathize with others and who prioritize their own needs above all else. Emotional manipulation and control. Overbearing mothers may also engage in emotional manipulation and control, using guilt and other tactics to keep their sons close. This can create a dynamic where the son feels obligated to cater to his mother's emotional needs, often at the expense of his own well-being. Such manipulation can foster a sense of grandiosity and self-importance, as the son learns to navigate relationships through control and manipulation, mirroring the behavior he experienced from his mother. Negative impact on daughters. In families where mothers harbor negative feelings towards their daughters, the impact can be equally profound. Daughters may be subjected to criticism, neglect, or even outright hostility, leading to low self-esteem and a lack of confidence. This dynamic can create a stark contrast between the treatment of sons and daughters, reinforcing the son's sense of superiority and entitlement. The son may internalize the belief that he is inherently more valuable and deserving of attention and admiration, further fueling narcissistic tendencies. The cycle of narcissism. The combination of overnurturing, lack of boundaries, emotional manipulation, and differential treatment of sons and daughters creates a fertile ground for the development of narcissistic traits. These men may grow up to exhibit behaviors that are self-centered, manipulative, and lacking in empathy. They may struggle with forming healthy relationships, as their interactions are often driven by a need for validation and control. Overprotective moms can inadvertently contribute to the development of passport brothers and low-value men by stifling their sons' independence and emotional growth. When mothers excessively shield their sons from challenges and responsibilities, these young men may struggle to develop essential life skills, such as resilience, problem-solving, and emotional regulation. This overprotection can lead to a lack of confidence and an inability to navigate adult relationships effectively. As a result, some of these men might seek validation and control in relationships abroad, where they believe traditional gender roles are more prevalent, hence the term passport brothers. They may also exhibit low-value behaviors, such as dependency, entitlement, and an inability to handle rejection or conflict maturely. This dynamic can create a cycle of unhealthy relationships and personal dissatisfaction, as these men are ill-equipped to form balanced, respectful partnerships. By not allowing their sons to face and overcome life's challenges, overprotective moms can inadvertently hinder their sons' growth into well-rounded, self-sufficient men. Breaking the cycle. To address the issue of narcissistic men, it is essential to recognize the role of parenting dynamics in shaping personality traits. Mothers and fathers must strive to balance nurturing with fostering independence, setting clear boundaries, and treating all children with equal respect and care. By promoting healthy emotional development and encouraging self-sufficiency, parents can help their children grow into well-rounded, empathetic individuals. The impact of overbearing mothers on their sons' relationships with women can be profound and multifaceted. Here are some key ways this dynamic can manifest. Dependency and autonomy issues. Emotional dependency. Sons who are overly dependent on their mothers may struggle to form independent relationships with women. They might rely heavily on their partners for emotional support, mirroring the dependency they had on their mothers. Lack of autonomy. These men might find it difficult to make decisions without seeking approval or guidance from their mothers, which can create tension and frustration in their romantic relationships. Risk aversion. Children of overprotective parents often become risk-averse and may lack the confidence to take on challenges. This can limit their personal and professional growth. Low self-esteem. Constantly being shielded from failure and challenges can lead to low self-esteem and a lack of resilience. These men might struggle with leadership roles and decision-making. Boundary issues. Difficulty setting boundaries. Overbearing mothers often fail to teach their sons how to set healthy boundaries. As a result, these men might struggle to establish and maintain boundaries in their relationships, leading to issues with personal space and autonomy. Enmeshment. Sons might become enmeshed with their mothers, making it hard to prioritize their romantic partners. This can lead to feelings of neglect and resentment from their partners. Conflict resolution. Avoidance of conflict. Sons of overbearing mothers might avoid conflict to prevent upsetting their partners, similar to how they might have avoided upsetting their mothers. This can lead to unresolved issues and passive-aggressive behavior. Overreacting to criticism. These men might overreact to criticism from their partners, perceiving it as a personal attack, which can escalate conflicts unnecessarily. Emotional regulation. Struggles with emotional expression. Overbearing mothers might not provide a healthy model for emotional expression. Sons might struggle to express their emotions appropriately, leading to misunderstandings and emotional distance in their relationships. Emotional manipulation. Some men might use emotional manipulation, a tactic they learned from their mothers, to control their partners and get their needs met. Expectations and entitlement. Unrealistic expectations. Sons who were overly pampered might have unrealistic expectations of their partners, expecting them to cater to their needs in the same way their mothers did. Sense of entitlement. These men might feel entitled to special treatment and become frustrated or resentful when their partners do not meet these expectations. Relationship dynamics. Replicating family dynamics. Sons might unconsciously replicate the dynamics they experienced with their mothers in their romantic relationships. This could mean choosing partners who are nurturing and overprotective or who allow them to remain dependent. Struggles with intimacy. These men might struggle with intimacy, either becoming overly clingy or emotionally distant, depending on how they learn to cope with their relationship with their mothers. Overprotective moms can significantly hinder their sons' development, leading to the emergence of passport brothers and low-value men. Here's a brutally honest breakdown. Stunted emotional growth. Overprotective moms often shield their sons from emotional challenges, preventing them from developing resilience and emotional intelligence. These men may struggle to handle rejection, conflict, or emotional intimacy, making them ill-equipped for healthy, balanced relationships. Dependency and lack of independence. By constantly intervening and making decisions for their sons, overprotective moms foster dependency. These men may lack the confidence and skills to navigate life independently, leading them to seek relationships where they can exert control or feel superior, often in cultures with more traditional gender roles. Entitlement and unrealistic expectations. Overprotection can breed a sense of entitlement, where these men expect others to cater to their needs without reciprocation. This entitlement can manifest in relationships as a lack of effort, respect, and commitment, contributing to the low-value label. Poor coping mechanisms. Without facing and overcoming challenges, these men often lack effective coping mechanisms. They may resort to escapism, such as seeking relationships abroad where they believe they can avoid the complexities of modern, egalitarian partnerships. Social and relationship skills deficit. Limited exposure to diverse social situations can result in poor social and relationship skills. These men may struggle to communicate effectively, empathize with partners, or build meaningful connections, further reinforcing their low-value status. Perpetuation of toxic masculinity. Overprotective parenting can inadvertently reinforce toxic masculinity, where men feel pressured to conform to outdated, harmful gender norms. This can lead to controlling, disrespectful, and unfaithful behaviors in relationships, perpetuating a cycle of dysfunction. Here are some real-life examples of how overprotective parenting can lead to the development of passport brothers and low-value men. The helicopter mom. A mother constantly hovers over her son, making decisions for him and shielding him from any potential failure. She manages his friendships, schoolwork, and even his social activities. As a result, he grows up lacking confidence and independence. When he enters adulthood, he struggles to make decisions on his own and seeks relationships where he can feel in control, often looking for partners in cultures with more traditional gender roles. The overbearing protector. A mother who is excessively worried about her son's safety prevents him from taking any risks. She discourages him from participating in sports, social events, or any activities that might pose a challenge. This overprotection leads to a lack of resilience and poor coping skills. As an adult, he avoids difficult situations and seeks out relationships where he feels he can dominate, often leading to unhealthy dynamics. The enabler. A mother who does everything for her son, from cleaning his room to handling his finances, fosters extreme dependency. He never learns to take responsibility for his actions or manage his own life. This dependency translates into his relationships, where he expects his partner to take care of him without offering much in return. This behavior can lead to a lack of respect and effort in the relationship, contributing to his low-value status. The emotional shield. A mother who shields her son from any emotional discomfort, such as dealing with breakups or failures, prevents him from developing emotional intelligence. He grows up unable to handle rejection or conflict maturely. In relationships, he may become controlling or avoidant, seeking partners who he believes will be more submissive and less challenging. Here are some examples of differential treatment in families. Affection and attention. Son receives more hugs, praise, and positive reinforcement. Parents might spend more quality time with this child, engaging in activities they enjoy. Daughter receives less physical affection and praise. Parents might be more critical or less engaged in their interests and activities. Discipline and rules. Son faces fewer rules and lenient consequences for misbehavior. Parents might overlook their mistakes or quickly forgive them. Daughter faces stricter rules and harsher punishments. Parents might be more likely to enforce consequences and less forgiving of mistakes. Material resources. Son receives more or better material resources, such as clothes, toys, or educational opportunities. Parents might invest more in their hobbies and interests. Daughter receives fewer or lower quality material resources. Parents might be less willing to invest in their hobbies and interests. Educational support. Son gets more support with homework and school projects. Parents might attend more school events and be more involved in their academic life. Daughter receives less help with homework and school projects. Parents might be less involved in their academic life and attend fewer school events. Emotional support. Son receives more emotional support and understanding. Parents might be more empathetic and responsive to their feelings and needs. Daughter receives less emotional support and understanding. Parents might be less empathetic and more dismissive of their feelings and needs. Opportunities and privileges. Son gets more opportunities for extracurricular activities, travel, and special privileges. Parents might allow them more freedom and trust. Daughter has fewer opportunities for extracurricular activities, travel, and special privileges. Parents might be more restrictive and less trusting. Social comparison. Son is often praised in comparison to their siblings, reinforcing their sense of superiority. Daughter is often criticized in comparison to their siblings, reinforcing their sense of inferiority. The negative impact differential treatment has on their daughters. Self-esteem and self-worth. Lower self-esteem. Daughters who feel less favored often struggle with low self-esteem. They may internalize the belief that they are less valuable or worthy of love and attention compared to their siblings. Self-criticism. These daughters might develop habits of self-criticism, constantly doubting their abilities and worth. Mental health. Increased anxiety and depression. The constant feeling of being less favored can lead to higher levels of anxiety and depression. These daughters may feel isolated, unsupported, and unloved. Risk of maladaptive behaviors. In an attempt to gain attention or cope with their feelings, less favored daughters might engage in maladaptive behaviors, such as aggression or withdrawal. Loss of childhood. Being forced to grow up too fast can steal the joy and freedom of childhood. This loss can result in a sense of missing out on important developmental experiences, impacting their overall emotional health. Relationship dynamics. Trust issues. Experiencing differential treatment can lead to trust issues in relationships. These daughters might struggle to trust others, fearing rejection or favoritism. Difficulty in forming healthy relationships. They may have trouble forming and maintaining healthy relationships, often replicating the dynamics they experienced at home. Impact on relationships. In adulthood, these women might replicate the caregiving role in their personal relationships, often feeling responsible for their partner's well-being. This can lead to unbalanced relationships and further emotional strain. Sibling relationships. Resentment and conflict. Differential treatment can create tension and conflict between siblings. Less favored daughters might harbor resentment towards their favored siblings, leading to strained relationships. Competition for attention. These daughters might constantly compete for parental attention and approval, which can further strain sibling bonds. Career and personal development. Lack of confidence. The lack of parental support and validation can result in a lack of confidence, affecting their career choices and personal development. Fear of failure. These daughters might develop a fear of failure, avoiding risks and challenges due to a lack of confidence in their abilities. Emotional regulation. Difficulty managing emotions. Less favored daughters might struggle with emotional regulation, finding it hard to manage their feelings of anger, sadness, or frustration. Increased sensitivity to criticism. They may become overly sensitive to criticism, as they have been conditioned to expect negative feedback. Difficulty with boundaries. Parentified daughters may struggle with setting healthy boundaries in their relationships. They might take on too much responsibility for others, neglecting their own needs and well-being. Attachment styles. Anxious attachment. These daughters might develop an anxious attachment style, characterized by a need for constant reassurance and fear of losing their partner. Avoidant attachment. Alternatively, some might develop an avoidant attachment style, keeping emotional distance to protect themselves from potential hurt. Conflict resolution. Difficulty handling conflict. Daughters who experienced differential treatment might struggle with conflict resolution. They may either avoid conflicts altogether or react defensively, fearing criticism or rejection. Overcompensation. Some might overcompensate by being overly accommodating or submissive, trying to avoid any form of conflict. Emotional dependency. Over-reliance on partners. These daughters might become emotionally dependent on their partners, seeking the support and validation they lacked from their mothers. Difficulty being alone. They might find it challenging to be alone, feeling incomplete without a partner. Anxiety and stress. Constantly managing adult tasks and responsibilities can create a high level of stress and anxiety. These girls often feel overwhelmed by the pressure to perform and meet expectations. Emotional burnout. Providing emotional support to parents and siblings can lead to emotional exhaustion. These girls might feel drained and unable to cope with their own emotions effectively. Recreating family dynamics. Replicating patterns. Daughters might unconsciously replicate the dynamics they experienced with their mothers in their romantic relationships. This could mean choosing partners who are emotionally unavailable or critical. Seeking approval. They might constantly seek approval from their partners, similar to how they sought approval from their mothers. In conclusion, it's crucial to recognize the long-term impact of these parenting dynamics. By overprotecting their sons and overburdening their daughters, some moms may unintentionally be setting their children up for future struggles. Boys who are shielded from life's challenges often grow into men who lack the emotional resilience and independence needed to thrive. Meanwhile, girls who are forced to take on adult responsibilities too early may face emotional and psychological challenges that can last a lifetime. It's time to break this cycle. Parents must strive to raise balanced, emotionally healthy children by allowing boys to face challenges and encouraging girls to enjoy their childhood. Let's foster a generation of men and women who are capable, independent, and emotionally strong. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights on relationships and personal growth. What do you think? Do boy moms raise the same type of men they hate? Let me know in the comment section. Stay bougie.